Got some big time breaking news out of the NFL. The Miami Dolphins are trading the number 3 overall pick to the San Francisco 49ers. And this is according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. Let's pull up the tweet. Adam Schefter says, "File to ESPN, Dolphins trading number 3 overall pick to the San Francisco 49ers for the number 12 pick, a 2021 third round pick, which of course they got for the Robert Saleh hiring in New York, and first-round picks in both 2022 and 2023. Blockbuster deal with massive ramifications for years to come." And boy, is that an understatement. Now, Adam Schefter obviously laid it out very, very eloquently. This is a deal that has, shocked, I'm sure, a lot of 49ers fans. It's got ramifications for every single party involved, and I'm talking about parties going beyond just the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. You have Jimmy G, you have Tua Tagovailoa, what it means for his future. You have the potential quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers are now going to pick. But let's just think about this and why this happened. So there's been rumblings for ever since the season ended that Jimmy G was on the outs with the San Francisco 49ers. So we've known that John Lynch considered trading him at some point. He considered trading him for Kirk Cousins. We've heard rumblings that the Patriots might be interested in trading for Jimmy G. We heard rumblings that they were looking for a quarterback potentially at that number 12 pick, but now obviously they moved up and things have gotten a little more serious in that department. And look, it makes sense because they're not trading Jimmy G just because of his talent. Like a lot of people are saying that, well, Jimmy G, he's game manager. He's a game manager who hasn't shown up in big moments. And a lot of people point to that Super Bowl collapse that they had. And that's true. Jimmy G is a very good game manager. I think he's a lot like Alex Smith in that way. However, where he deviates from Alex Smith is the fact that Jimmy G has shown a propensity to be injury prone. When he started in New England, in those 4 games when Tom Brady was suspended, he only started like 2 of those games because he got injured. And that's how Jacoby Brissett came onto the scene. He gets to San Francisco. I think he starts about 4 or 5 games at the end of the year after he got traded. Okay. The next year, tears his ACL. Plays 3 games, tears his ACL. Misses most of the season. He's healthy for 2019. The team goes to the Super Bowl and carried by that defense. And obviously, Jimmy G was a part of that team. He helped out. And then the next year, they come back, defending NFC champions, defending NFC West champions, and he gets injured again. And it's been a cycle. Kyle Shanahan, I think, and John Lynch as well, they're sick of this cycle because they know that Jimmy G isn't reliable. He hasn't been there long enough. He hasn't done enough on the field to warrant keeping him as the starter or to warrant him being responsible and actually being there on the field. And, that's not a knock, on Jimmy G's personality or anything. That's a knock on just his ability to stay healthy. And when you're in a division like the NFC West, you got to compete with Russell Wilson. You got to compete now with Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, who's only getting better and better every year. Jimmy G is the worst quarterback in that division by default. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He still might be even like top 20. But the indictment on Jimmy G is he hasn't been healthy and he hasn't done enough. And that's why you see the San Francisco 49ers going up, making a trade like this. And it's very much like the Rams when they traded Jared Goff away for Matthew Stafford. A very aggressive move. Some may call it a Madden-type move. But it works. And it makes sense because I think Kyle Shanahan, for the longest time, they needed a quarterback back in I believe it was 2017 when they traded for Jimmy G. They needed a guy. They needed someone to come in and be their franchise guy to start off the Kyle Shanahan era. Jimmy G was someone who had a lot of upside. He had a lot of potential. And he flashed some brilliance. And I think that was why Kyle Shanahan originally traded for him. He just wanted to set the tone that we have a guy, we have our quarterback, and build off of that, no matter how he turned out. Now it seems that Jimmy G has not turned out to be who many thought he was. But regardless, for the 49ers now and for Kyle Shanahan especially, it's about getting that guy, getting that hand-picked guy. And I think they know who they're likely going to get. And let's just take a look at who might be there. So number one overall is Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jaguars. It's all but certain. Now number two is where you get into a little bit of a scenario where that, is Justin Fields the guy for the Jets? Is someone else going to trade up for that spot? Are they fine with Sam Darnold and getting more picks surrounded with more talent? We don't know that yet. The likely scenario is that Justin Fields gets picked at number two, and then the 49ers have to either go for Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, or Mac Jones. Three very fine quarterbacks. If you ask me, Trey Lance is the best quarterback of that bunch and will be the best quarterback of that bunch, but Zach Wilson, no scrub. Mac Jones, was he carried by his wide receivers? Some may argue that, but still has a lot of potential. And I think for the 49ers, again, it's about picking that guy. And if we look at it from the Miami Dolphins perspective, think about what they've accomplished here. A few years ago, last year actually, before the beginning of the year, they traded away Laramie Tunsil. They traded him for what ended up being this third overall pick, which was the Texans pick. Texans have a bad year. The Dolphins wind up because of the trade with the number 3 pick. They've now turned it into three first-round picks. So this deal that the Dolphins did for Laramie Tunsil back last year, it's done wonders for them. The Miami Dolphins found a way to turn Laramie Tunsil, who was, I believe, a 13th overall pick, into 4 first-round picks. Amazing. And, there was talk even at number 3 that they might be interested in a quarterback. There was talk to Mac Jones, Trey Lance. One of those guys might go there to Miami. That's not going to happen now. But I think this from Miami also proves that Tua is their guy. They let Ryan Fitzpatrick walk out in free agency. They let all these veterans who could have come in, they like Andy Dalton and the like, they let them go. They said, no, we don't want it. They are content with Tua. And that's been them from the beginning. Tank for Tua was the catchphrase there for the longest time. But again, so they're setting their quarterback. And for Jimmy G, it opens up a lot of scenarios. The San Francisco 49ers have apparently said now that they want to keep Jimmy G on the roster, according to Adam Schefter. But I don't see that happening in the long term, to be honest. Because I don't think Jimmy G is going to want to be there if he knows he's not the guy, which we all know now. He's probably not going to be the guy if they pick a quarterback. So, multiple destinations for him. Patriots, potentially. Just re-signed Cam Newton, but again, not a long-term deal. $10 million for Cam Newton. That was or I think it was 14. Either way, that's good backup money. You got a lot of backup. Ask Chase Daniel about that. But yeah, big news out of the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers have traded 3 first-round picks and a third in exchange for Miami's number 3 overall pick in order to pick a quarterback. Huge day for the 49ers. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.